perfect, man. This is perfect. This is my favorite into this episode, I think. My favorite. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. Today with your 7th episode of which third-party resin figure brand is any good. So this is a series of videos where we explore actual product pictures of third-party resin figures to find out which brand is any good and which one to avoid. This time around, I have quite a few brands to go through, and the good news is that most of them look great, except for maybe a couple that are very average looking that I can't recommend. So this is a very good batch of third-party resin figures, and the main highlight in this episode has to be HeRa Studio. There are so many new products coming out from them, mostly 1x4 scale, and they look amazing, which is why I'm making them the main highlight in the title of today's video. So without further ado, let's move on to some pictures I have acquired. Actual product pictures, not official pictures from the factory. This is mostly thanks to OSGK. Yeah, the staff over at OSGK, which has kindly shared these images online in social media, and I just compiled everything. So starting off with the first studio over here, this is a brand that I am very familiar with by now. I actually have purchased their Jingliu figure from Honkai Star Rail. I liked it a lot. It is on my shelf right there. And this is ABsinthe Studio Honkai Star Rail Sparkle. Okay, so with this figure over here, like ABsinthe Studio, I don't really have any doubts about them. They make great figures. It is really dependent on whether you're okay resin figures or not, because they are a lot more fragile, need to take extra care. So this Sparkle figure over here, she looks great. Her face sculpt and everything, that is all I look for. The accuracy of the face, everything looks nicely done over here. Just that this is not my favorite Sparkle figure. Like, I'm not sure what she's sitting on, but I don't like the design of the whole thing. Yeah, it feels like I'm paying more for the background, the backdrop, the base than the main figure itself. Some people like figures like this, but there's nothing quite wrong with this figure, just that not my favorite Sparkle figure. The paint work by this brand is impeccable. Like, my Jingliu was the same, it was really good. The paint was very precise, all of the gold color trims on the body, you don't see any paint bleeding or quality control issues. Moving on, okay, we have more pictures over here. Like, alright, look at the paint work on that mask. Yeah, that mask on her head. Look at the gold color trims. Everything is very precisely painted, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Their paint work is amazing. Okay, moving up to the next brand. This is also ABsinthe Studio. Okay, they actually have a Nico Demara, I can't remember. So as a brand, once again, they make great figures, ABsinthe Studio. The thing with Nico Demara is that now we have the Apex Toys PVC figure, right? So I don't see anyone going out hunting for this figure of her, but if you have already pre-ordered one, keep it. It is going to be really good. Yeah. Okay, and then the next one here, this Alice21 Studio, another brand that I have covered over and over in the previous episodes. I also like their figures a lot, especially the ones from Zenless Zone Zero. Their Nicole Demera was amazing, and then there are quite a few others. Yeah, mostly the Triple Z game. This one is Blue Archive, White Wedding, Shimoe Koharu, I think. Yep. And to me, right, this figure of Shimoe Koharu, the face, it looks fine, just that from a distance, this figure does not look as detailed to me as some of their Zenless Zone Zero figures. But guess what? The craftsmanship is still as amazing as ever. One day, I will buy the figure and review it for sure. This Shimoe Koharu is beautiful. It is excellent. Just that I couldn't recognize her initially because of the twin tail and the outfit in general. Like, compared to the Shimoe Koharu I know from artworks I've seen online, including the official ones. Yeah, this one is like, I couldn't recognize her that initially, at least. Looks a bit different, but in a good way, I suppose. Does not look ugly at all. Right, this should be $250 or so, I think. I'm guessing. I don't remember the price. Okay, wow, I saved so many pictures. It has to be that good, huh? Yeah, the dress, man. Like, wedding figure. This wedding dress is quite something. It is very different from the normal wedding dresses I'm used to seeing. This is beautiful. Okay, up next we have Bluefins Studio, Honkai Star Rail, Topaz, and Nambi. Okay, the name of the file, of this image file, is on the top right corner. You can see the name of the studio right there, right? Okay, so Topaz and Nambi, like, are they, like, how many figures of her has been made so far? I don't see many third parties touching this character. Alright, the gold paint over here is also very nice. Yes, I'm using OBS to record. Like, I'm not very familiar with the user interface of Mac OS. That's the thing. So I'm not sure what I clicked, and now I am in full screen. How do I get out of full screen over here? Oh, this is actually a photo. Okay. Yes, I think I'm back. Alright, I'm back. Okay, this is what the face looks like. It looks really nice for sure. Like, I don't know what to expect from Bluefins Studio. I've seen that name a number of times when I do weekly figure news, but this is nicely done. Oh, I love it when they get the paintwork right, man. Like, I am a big fan of metallic paint and metallic looks in general. So this kind of close-up pictures, they are important. They tell us how good the paintwork is up close when you look at them. Yep. Up next, Buff Studio Childhood Fun from Free Run. Okay, I have commented about this figure back then. This was on pre-order not too long ago actually, and I said that I could not recommend it, and until today I think my personal opinions still remain the same. I can't recommend this one at all. It wasn't cheap. This was like 90 or 100 US dollars. I would buy a nice PVC figure with that money, because this fun figure does not look that attractive to me, at least. The next one here, Cosplay Studio. Spy Family Anya cosplay as, I think, Uchiha Madara, is it? From Naruto. Now, look at that face over there. Perfection. Right? That is nicely done. And look at how many units there are. You see, for all the criticisms I had on these Anya figures, that there are too many of them, they have to be selling really well. This is Anya Forger Cos Obito, also from Cosplay Studio. This one does not look as nice, but it still looks like Anya to me. And I personally think ZH Studio is doing a better work with all these Anya crossover figures. But this one does not look bad at all. Up next, we have Dragonstone Studio, Asuka from Evangelion. Now, I have a problem with this figure from this specific angle. Apparently, she appears to be adjusting her hair or something in front of a bathroom mirror. That is what the base is. But from this angle, from this side angle, her face looks really weird. And it is probably a viewing angle issue. But it does not look good from this angle, but the rest of the figure looks amazing. And they did not give us a picture of her from the front, at least not directly. If the face is actually good, show it to us, don't hide it, seriously. But Dragonstone Studio in general, they have a pretty good track record so far. Yup, in front of a bathroom mirror. And this is the clearest I can get of her face. Oh, she is doing something to her eye, applying mascara or what, I have no idea. So from this angle, through the mirror, I think her face looks great, right? Just that from the side, it looks a bit weird to me. And here is another clearer look of her face over here, but she is in a plastic sachet. I think it looks fine. That is probably a viewing angle problem. Is there a way to zoom in? You see, I have been using a MacBook for a bit more than 2 months now, and I'm still not very familiar with the user interface, to be honest. Right, never mind. Moving on to the next one here, we have Dreamdoll Studio Chainsaw Man Power. Okay, once again, this figure, it looks great. I think I have only one single picture, but it is quite clear that they got the face done right over here. This is the only picture of her I have. So can I zoom in a little bit more? Let's have a look. Ish. So this is what her face looks like. I think they did a great job. Yeah. Just that the outfit is a bit plain for sure, like just white color, no shading, but there is some shading on the hair. It is quite obvious. So looking good so far. So moving up to the next one here. This one is incredible. Just that, you know what? I have only one problem with this studio called DT Studio and UME Studio. And that is their insistence on making all of their 1x4 scale resin figures in realistic faces. They don't even give you a second option with the anime face. This is all you get. But outside of that, their figures are incredible. And they have, once again, a very consistent, excellent track record over the past couple of years at least, right? And this Saber figure over here is incredible. Like, look at the detail on her outfit along the side of her legs over here. Wow. There are two versions, as you can see. This is the more expensive Saber Auto bike version, and this is the simpler version. I just don't like that face, realistic face. That's the thing. The only flaw of this figure, which is incredible otherwise. And look at that bike. Damn. Oh, two color versions, yes. So I think because this does not look like Saber, like barely looks like her, if I want this figure and I can afford it, I'll just go for this odd color version so that it looks more like an original character rather than actually a Saber character, you know? The red color bike is nice. Oh. How much is this thing? Is it like $600 or $700? I think I shouldn't be far off, right? This should be at least $700 if not more because it is 1x4 scale and you get a bike. But that is hands down the best Saber bike I've seen across any brand and including both the genuine and the third parties. Okay, oh, more pictures. How many pictures did I save, man? For me, I would settle for the bike version. I would ignore this one. Okay, up next, we have Fantasy Studio, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Kanroji, Mitsuri. Alright, this looks kind of cluttered and messy, but yeah, I can still tell there is a girl in the center. And oh, she looks great! You know, I just covered one last week and her face looked terrible. This one is nice. Okay. And look at the texture on her outfit over here. It looks messy from a distance, but close up, she looks amazing for sure. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, we get this small demon next to her, a tiny one. That is a nice touch, adding a lot of detail to the figure. It is a tiny one among the branches. Okay, up next we have GA Studio, Final Fantasy 1x4 scale, Barney Tifa Lockhart. So what are your thoughts on the face over here? I think it looks okay, but it is still a bit off, not like the Tifa that I know. And I'm not too surprised at the same time because very few third-party brands are able to get the face of Tifa Lockhart done right. It is like they are almost there, 80% there, but the remaining 20% is missing. Like there is a bit of difference with the actual Tifa Lockhart. And I don't think her bust size is this big. They inflated it, yeah. Next one here, GG Studio, One Piece Boa Hancock. And this is a great looking Boa Hancock figure. So, I just want a closer look of her face. Alright, it looks great. Just that it is a bit on the simple side, right? I've seen better faces than this, but this is not bad. Okay, and this is the white version, of course. Yeah, she comes with this base, right? This figure has a unique feature in a way where the base you're getting is the one on the right actually, and then they give you an extra piece of rubber-like material in the box. You are free to apply it to the base before assembling a figure. If you apply that rubber piece, that rubber sheet, I think it is like a they call it PV. I'm not sure what is it. I think it's polyvinyl. Yeah, there's a rubbery polyvinyl like material they give you in the box, and then if you apply it on the base, the look you're getting is the one on the left. That looks quite nice. It is more opaque looking, not as translucent, but the colors are quite nice, quite vibrant. But they are giving you the freedom whether to paste it or not. Alright. Up next, okay, Ghost, Train Studio, Zenless Zone Zero, Ellen Joe. And you know what? This is possibly one of the best third-party figures of Ellen Joe. I know that the Apex Toys one has gone on pre-order last week, right? And yeah, you should pre-order the one by Apex Toys by all means, 20,000 yen only. But among the third parties, this is among my favorite figures of Ellen Joe. I know that I have covered this figure in my previous episode like 3 months ago, but that was like the first batch of pictures. Now they have a second batch over here, so I want to go through them again, and she is looking amazing as ever. Like the detail on her outfit, look at that. This is very nice. I like this a lot. And yeah, if I have spare budget, I want to purchase this Ellen Joe figure, not just the one by Apex Toys. This is one of the best Ellen Joe figures by a third party, Ghost Train Studio. Up next, we have Anya again by Kod Studio, Raincoat, and this one is not very nice, to be honest. Like, even from this distance, I don't even have to zoom in. The face is a bit unlike Anya, a bit off. It still looks like her, but yeah. If I were to buy a third-party Anya figure, I will be looking for a crossover like the Naruto One Piece crossovers or any crossover that I like. So I don't think this one, yeah, not something I can recommend actually. And there are not many units displayed over here. 4 by 5. So there are 20 Anyas over here. 20 is not a lot. Okay, up next, GuluGulu Studio, Anya Forger Cosplay Squirtle. Oh, alright. This is creative for sure, and yeah, this is what you call a good Anya Forger crossover figure. The turtle shell behind her swimsuit is basically like the turtle's body, and then you have the sunglasses. This is a perfect crossover. This is very nicely done. How much is this again? Should be roughly $100 or $110, I guess. Moving up next, we have HeRa Studio, the main studio I'm highlighting in today's episode. And this 1x4 scale Oshino Shinobu looks amazing. Are there even any 1x4 scale PVCs of her? I don't think so, right? I don't think so, yeah. Do I have any other pictures, like closer up pictures? No, there are none. So let me zoom in a little bit and have a look. Okay. This is like a unique art style of some kind. Oh, fabric outfit. Is that fabric? If it is, that means you can cast it off. Nice bonus over there. This face over here is quite different from the one in the artwork behind, but I doubt that they are related. They are not related, just that this one is still very nice looking. So, nice work, HeRa Studio. I like it a lot. Jeez. Okay, getting back over here, the next one, what do we have? Yep, Chainsaw Man Makima from HeRa Studio as well. And alright, now we get a close look. Like, this is perfection. The face right there, the sculpt, everything, this is pretty much exactly like what I see in the anime adaptation at least. Right? They couldn't have done this any better. And the paintwork on the hair is fantastic, man. Yup, they are giving you 2 different versions. At least you get to choose between the anime version and the realistic version. Like, DT and UME Studio does not even give me that choice, man. Of course, I would go for the anime version all day. My only criticism about this Chainsaw Man Makima figure is that it is a bit too bland, otherwise a bit too plain. If there are at least some blood stains on her white shirt, that would make it perfect. Yeah, this is too clean to be Makima. The Makima, I know, is pretty brutal, right? Pretty unhinged. So, this is a bit too clean looking to my liking. But otherwise, there is not much else to point out, to complain about. This is nicely done from HeRa Studio. And this was not even that expensive. This was like $300. Less than that for 1x4 scale. Yeah. Up next, HeRa Studio again, Yuzuriha Inori. This is one of my favorite anime characters of all time, like top 5 favorites, right? And back then, I was so upset that Good Smile Company gave us a tiny Inori scale figure and there were nothing else better than that. Third parties are starting to make more figures of her and now we get a 1x4 scale by HeRa Studio. Man, that is excellent. Just that the face over here, right? It is slightly different from the Inori I know from the anime adaptation. Okay, let's have a closer look, shall we? It is still very nice. I don't think there is much to complain, especially when there are not many Inori figures out there. It is still very nice, and if this thing costs like $300 or $3++, because resin is not cheap, why not? It is still a good purchase, yeah. And that base over there, the purple violet color crystals, perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about this figure. Okay, up next we have Asuka from Evangelion, also by HeRa Studio. Now, there is nothing quite wrong with this Asuka, but then this time around, I don't think they make the best Asuka figure. Asuka has so many options out there, and there are those that are better looking for sure. Like, this is a solid figure of her, not much wrong with it, just that not as impressive in comparison. And I believe it was under $300 at 1x4 scale. These are all 1x4 scales. And here we have Rei Ayanami, where I have also seen better. Asuka's face is nice, and Rei Ayanami, do I have a close-up picture of her face? No, I don't have any. I think my problem is that they are a bit too bland and simple with the pose, but the base is incredible. That rock debris base, I love it. Okay, up next, HeRa Studio again. This is their chibi version of Violet Evergarden, and very nicely done, isn't it? Yeah, this is very nicely done. So, HeRa Studio is interesting in the sense that they do chibi style figures and 1x4 scale. There is a big difference, but they don't have many 1x6 scale figures. They do have, but not many. Okay, so we have gone through like 5 figures by HeRa Studio, and every single one of them are excellent. So this is a brand that you can trust. If you see something you like, you want to pre-order it on OSGK, go ahead and pre-order it. Up next, we have Hot Girls Studio, Boa Hancock, and well, low effort figure, right? Just a bikini. Gold color bikini, white hair, nothing much, though there is nothing wrong with her face. And yeah, of course, you get the black hair and the white hair version. And it is interesting that there is some tissue paper, not tissue paper, more like oil paper or something being shoved between the bikini and her chest, which implies that this figure is actually castable. Though I'm not sure how you are going to do it without damaging or breaking the straps. Maybe you need to heat it up with a hair dryer first, right? I wouldn't attempt to cast off a resin figure unless it is a 1x4 scale. The parts are all significantly bigger and less fragile, you know? Or unless it is part swapping, obviously. Once again, the face here is okay, nothing wrong with it, just that low effort figure. Up next, Hui Xiang Studio Violet Evergarden. This is a 1x6, I think. And this is something you don't see very often. She looks dirty because she is in the war zone, right? So in future, if you are unlucky enough where your anime figures started to have all these mold or other stains appearing after some time because you did not take care of them properly, I guess that you can convert that anime figure into battle damage version of some kind. So the stains, the contamination that you see, you incorporate it into the figure as if it is part of the design. So, alright, back to this figure over here. This is not my favorite Violet Evergarden figure, but at the same time, nothing quite wrong with it. The face, sculpt, everything is nicely done. Yeah. Just that this dirty battle damage look is not something you see very often among genuine PVC figures. Okay, up next, another Boa Hancock by YuXing Studio. This one is a bit meh to me. But it looks cheap. It looks like something that doesn't cost more than $100. Face-wise, looking fine once again, but just a plain Chinese dress, right? Nothing much going on with this one. Up next, Kod Studio. I think I covered this figure brand before as well. This is Robin from Honkai Star Rail. And come on, I couldn't see much in. Let me see if there are any pictures. I think this is the only one I can zoom in. Alright, let's zoom in a bit more and... Okay. What are your thoughts on this? I think the face looks a bit weird, but I can't be sure because I had to zoom in so much and the image quality is degrading. It almost looks like there is something wrong around her mouth, but this is probably... Like, I can't be sure, man. It is almost there. But it almost looks like she has a small beard underneath over here, you know. But I don't think that is the case. It is probably a pink color shading that looks a bit extra intense from certain angles. I can't be certain over here. Yeah, something does not look right about the face over here, which is quite a shame. Like, just show us a closer up picture of the figure, of the face. If you don't show it to us, despite publishing pictures of production samples online, that means you're trying to hide something. That's the way I interpret it, yeah. Okay, getting back over here, like these pictures over here, they are not really helping me to judge the figure's quality, right? Okay, I'll try to zoom in this one and see if we get a closer look over here. She looks a bit better over here, but the microphone is blocking her mouth. It feels like they are purposely obstructing or covering her mouth. That is the feeling I'm getting over here. The other picture earlier, they focused on the last figure at the back so that it is not as clear. This one, they focused it on the figure in front, but then they conveniently obstruct or cover her mouth. Yeah, I'm not confident about this one. Okay, moving up to the next figure. We have Asuka from Kol Brothers Studio. What a weird name. Okay, both Asukas are by the same company. We have another Asuka over here, which looks fabulous, man. Wow. This looks very nice. Let me have a closer look. Oh, this is very nicely done. I wouldn't change a thing. Look at this texture over here along her plug suit. Man, this is one of the better Asuka figures out there that I initially overlooked because I know nothing about Kol Brother Studio. This is amazing. Wow. Damn, I want it. I want it. So many figures that I want but not enough money. Oh, this looks amazing, man. The whole thing, including the base, it looks amazing. Okay, up next, wait, before that, let's go back to this school uniform version and get a closer zoomed in look as well. Okay, okay, this picture is blurry, low resolution, but I can tell that the face looks fine. And the shading on the uniform is greatly executed as well. Nothing much wrong with this figure, but of course, I will take the one with the bike earlier. This one is fabulous, man. Okay, getting back here, we move on to the next studio, Konoha Studio, Temari from Naruto. And yeah, the face sculpt over here is perfection. I'm telling you that. Just that the lighting on the figure is so bad, the light is so harsh that, yeah, the color of the skin looks a bit washed out over here, but this is more of a problem with the lighting. And if you look at the blue color paint, shading and gradation over here on the sleeves, very nicely done. Just that I'm not exactly a fan of the base once again because I feel like it is very cluttered and messy. But yeah, the tree stumps over here being chopped off, I think, and the detailing, the amount of effort they put into the base, man. It is like the exact opposite of genuine figures, which give you a plain round plastic disc base. It still looks better than many other figures, but still messy at the same time, yeah. But this is a very good figure of Temari. If you like her, you should pick this one up. Up next, we have LC Studio, which I've covered a few times as well. They also make a bunch of Attack of Titan figures, I think. Final Fantasy Office Lady Tifa. Very nice bench over there that she's sitting on. I want the prop. I don't care about the figure. Come on, only one picture. I have only one picture and I want a closer look of a face over here. I'm not sure if I can get a close look. Okay, I don't like the face at all. Oh no. I'm reacting to these pictures for the first time, mind you, right? Some of these pictures I'm reacting to for the first time. I mean, it looks like Tifa somehow, but I don't like it. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like the face at all. Okay, getting back here, we have another figure of Tifa by the same studio but different outfit, and this is like the sweater version of some kind and a short hair, which once again, the same weird face. No, the same face with short hair looks even worse over here. Quite a shame considering the detail level on the outfit is quite good. Okay, next one here, this is for those of you with very thick wallets. This is a 1x1 scale Ganyu from Genshin Impact, which does not look like Ganyu at all. It is just a doll. A life-sized doll with the important features that matter to you single and dry men out there, but dressed up as Ganyu. Still does not look like Ganyu. This is by Ling Yue Studio. Never heard of them as well. And look at how many of them has been manufactured. If there is one thing that looks a bit weird to me, I'm not sure if it is an illusion. It feels like the two oppai are way lower than usual. It is like down here, it's sacked down over here, near the near the stomach region rather than further up, right? Like the position of the chest is a bit weird, but I'm not sure if it is a viewing angle problem or rather the way they dressed her up. I'm not sure, but it looks a bit weird to me. So no, I wouldn't buy this. Yeah, what do you think? The position of the top is a bit lower than usual, right? Yeah, that's the impression I'm getting over here. This should be my guess, right? $1,500 US or so, I'm guessing. Could be more than that, yeah. Okay, up next, Ling Yue Studio, right? Me site, kind Mita. Yes, one of you replied to me when I asked what is this me site thing about, and yeah, roughly as I guessed, it is a game. Interesting. And you know what? Ling Yue Studio did an amazing work with this Meta figure over here. It looks exactly like the official product pictures they showed us when she went on pre-order. 100% identical. Very nicely done, man. So we go back to this one, and then I want to zoom in the face right here, right? Yeah, it is very nice. Low resolution image. It is starting to turn blurry when I zoom in, but this is very nicely done. No complaints from me. Just that, yeah, I won't buy this figure because not my kind of character. Up next, we have another Robin figure from Honkai Star Rail. This is by LoveHolic Studio. Okay. And Alta Studio. This one is looking a bit better, the face. Looking a bit better than the one earlier. At least I get a clear look over here, right? I get a clear look. And let's zoom in again. Nice shading on the hair, but the sculpt detail is on the low side of things. But given that how precise this is, like very similar to what we saw in the official product pictures, I wouldn't complain too much. This is pretty good already from LoveHolic Studio. And then, she looks great. That's all I have to say. She looks great over here. Up next, we have LS Studio Honkai Star Rail Kafka. Okay, with Kafka, we now have the Apex Toys one that is already on pre-order. I also pre-ordered one myself. And then I have the one by Evangelion Studio, so I don't feel like buying another one. And this is the realistic version, which looks terrible for sure. That realistic face over there. It looks like she did not sleep for 3 nights and the eyes are turning black. This one is a lot nicer, right? Ling Yue Studio. The rest of the figure looks fine, but I wouldn't pre-order or buy it today even if it is in stock. That's the thing. I would stick to the one with Apex toys unless I want something different like a big diorama base or a big 1x4 scale. Yeah. Up next, we have LX Studio, Nami from One Piece, and this is a very good Nami figure, I'm telling you that. So, look at the heavy gradient shading on her blue jeans over here. I wish that there is some texture on the surface because it is a resin figure, but even without that, it looks really nice. No complaints from me. And the silver paint over here is also relatively precise as well. Next picture, yeah, these close-up detailed pictures, I love it. Look at the silver parts and even the top bikini, everything is very accurately painted. Yeah. And heavy shading on the orange color hair as well. Okay, this picture, I have to zoom it in because it looks very promising, to be honest. Okay, so let's zoom in. Oh! Yeah, this is an excellent Nami figure. This is greatly executed. The base and then the rear of the figure, there are several versions of this figure. If I'm not mistaken, there are 3 versions, right? The outfit is a bit different. The base color as well. This is a very good Nami figure for sure. Just that I don't collect One Piece stuff. If I were to buy something from One Piece, it has to be Boa Hancock for sure. Up next, wow, Hui Xiang Studio, Blue Archive, Iochi Mari. Geez, this looks even better than the scale figure made by Miyuki, right? There's a PVC figure brand called Miyuki. They have a figure of Iochi Mari in that nun outfit, which is quite nice, but the pose is a bit plain. And for that reason alone, I consider this one to be even better than the genuine PVC figure, just that it is resin, you know. The pose, a bit seductive, and then the blush on her face, looking embarrassed. This is perfect, man. This is perfect. Man, actual product pictures, mind you, this is not some prototype or something. This is a final product that is being shipped to the customers. There are 2 versions. Another one is the idol version over here, which frankly speaking looks incredible as well. But between the 2, if I could only afford one, yep, I would pick this one where she looks shy with the blush on the face. I think the face expression wins me over on this one. But this is just as good. Now, I'm going to zoom in this one over here. Right? So, we get to appreciate the details. And look at the outfits over here. We get some shading on the white color region. It is a bit weird that her idol outfit is grey color rather than white color. I think they should have made it white color, but the shading is in grey. This is like almost the whole part is in grey color, just different shades of grey color. 50 shades of grey. This is nice, but I would go for the jersey version, man. This is my favorite into this episode, I think. My favorite. HeRa Studio did amazing, but this is my favorite. The second place would be that Asuka on the bike earlier. My second favorite. This is my favorite right now. Alright, up next. Okay, nothing much going on over here. Up next, guess what? This figure rounds up my top 3 favorites for today's episode, right? So this figure of Sukatsuki Ryo by Yin Studio from Blue Archive. I have been eyeing this figure for a while, just that I did not pre-order it, and I'm not sure if I'm going to regret my decision. But Yin Studio is a brand that I have mentioned so many times on my weekly figure news that I think they are making good figures. They may not be the best third-party brand, but they are relatively consistent. And once again, they have proven me right. With this one over here, look at that face, man. I'm starting to regret not pre-ordering this one. We need to get an even closer look with this Sukatsuki Ryo over here. Oh boy, that is so good. Once again, this is identical to the official product pictures. I wonder if I can get this on Taobao or something, or whether OshGK still has any stock left. I want one, man. The pose is seductive but not too lewd. I don't care about this figure being castable or not. No, she is not. All I care about is the pose looking seductive enough, hot enough, and the face is executed to perfection. This is exactly what I want to see in third-party resin figures. Yeah, the Hadaka parts are just a bonus. I'm fine without that. You need to get this figure if you love Blue Archive. Seriously. Yin Studio did a fabulous work with this one. Up next, we have, MiWu Studio, Honkai, Gakuen 2, Kiana, Kaslana. I feel I've covered this figure before as well. I can't be sure. The same Kiana I know, but a younger version. Yeah, I think Alter did a scale figure. Is it the same Kiana or is it a different Kiana? Like, a different version of her, but within the same universe, you know? Yeah, the Kiana Kaslana, the adult version by Alter with all the weapon parts looking science fiction style. Yeah, I like that figure, you know, just that I couldn't afford so many figures. This one is also looking great, just that the battle damage effect, the torn uniform effect, I wished that they do a bit of shading, like the torn areas, they do a bit of grey color gradient work. That would be even better. She looks good already, but could be better, yeah. Okay, up next we have MoKu Studio Genshin Impact Ganyu. Okay, so MoKu Studio is doing a series of Genshin figures wearing school uniform. And you can choose between bare leg or with stockings, as you'll see in this picture over here. That unpainted Shenhe has just gone on pre-order a week or two ago for around $110. So at least now we get to take a look at Ganyu, which is coming out. And I do think the face looks good, you know. You know, I really enjoy MacBooks when it comes to performance in photograph and video editing, but the user interface is a disaster, man. I don't like the user interface. Okay. It looks like Ganyu for sure, right? But detail levels are low. Can't expect too much at $110. I wish that they do some shading on the skirt over here. Like, just dark blue is not good enough. I want a slightly lighter blue for the skirt, but then they use the dark blue to do color gradients, to do shading. Yeah, that would be for the best. And yes, the one with stocking is better. You can't change my opinion on that. Alright, moving on to the next one here. Moonlit Studio, Evangelion Asuka. This Asuka looks fine as well, right? Only one picture, unfortunately, and I want a closer look of a face over here. She looks fine, just that the nose is a bit poorly defined. Maybe it is a problem with lighting, right? Yes, the nose is barely visible, but this could be a problem with lighting. I wouldn't judge the figure based on this one single picture alone. Looks like a lighting issue to me. She looks fine otherwise, and we have some gradient work on the hair as well. Okay, so many Evangelion figures. Next one here, R3 from ROBOKO Studio, and this looks great. Just that with R3, Aniplex has a PVC scale of her. I think it was 20,000 yen or cheaper than that. You should check that one out. And I haven't watched the anime adaptation yet until today. Yeah. This R3 is also looking great. Like, there's nothing much to complain. Yeah, very nice. I can complain about shading every day, you know? Yeah, the shirt is a bit, the dress is a little bit too white otherwise. The base, not the best water base I've seen, but not the worst either. It looks a bit like slime to me, but many water effect bases are like that as well. Alright, getting back here, the next picture, same figure. And then we have SC Studio Tsukino Usagi from Sailor Moon. Now this Sailor Moon looks a bit freaky to me. I know it is a different art style, so rather than a terrible face, it is more like a different way of drawing the same character. If you look at the actual picture from the manufacturer doing pre-orders, I think it looks quite similar. So yeah, just a different style for the same character, the same figure. And yeah, that shiny silvery dress is quite nice, but the entire figure is a bit too white to me. Okay. Yeah, the colors are a bit too bland over here, but it is just the character design. Next one, we have Sea King Studio Genshin Impact Rosalind Krushka Lolfelter. Okay, whatever. Somehow, right, some games and anime, they love to give their characters super old school German names. And in fact, why aren't there any other brands that made a figure of this character, Rosalind? Not even the third parties, not to mention the genuine ones. This almost looks like doesn't look like a Genshin character to me, if I have to be honest. It looks like something from a dark fantasy game. Yeah. I'm not sure if I like the face though. Let me have a closer look. What do you think about the face over here? I'm not sure if I like maybe it is viewing angle issues once again. And once again, there is also a general lack of shading on the outfit. Paint work is good, right? Very precise over here, but there is a slight lack of shading. I see a bit of it on the red color coat, but that is about it. Not a very nice looking Genshin figure, to be honest. Okay, moving up next, we have, okay, this is among the worst figures of Firefly I've seen. From Honkai Star Rail, this is by Shu Ju Hong Liu Studio. Yep, I remember this one. The figure comes with a fake background as a part of the base. And the reason why I said this is one of the worst Firefly figures is not because the face is bad. I think there is nothing much wrong with the face, but the rest of the figure is just white color paint all over. Like, not even a hint of detailing done. Right? The hair as well. Her hair looks like concrete to me. Looks like pure cement to me. Yeah. It is like there is nothing quite wrong with your face. At the same time, there is a lot of wrong with the rest of the figure. And it is all down to a lack of detailing, lack of effort from the manufacturer. So if you were to say that this is a disaster of a figure, no, not necessarily. As I mentioned earlier in the starting part of today's video, there are barely any bad figures over here. Just the really average ones to the really good ones. And this is one of those very average ones which I will still say stay away. Yeah. And yeah, that print background, I'm not sure what to think about it. It makes the figure look cheap, to be honest. Not helping. Yeah, not helping at all. There is only some shading on the knee region over here because they want to give the impression of a slightly translucent dress, but that is about it. Yeah. Next one here, Soda Studio. They make licensed figures, and this is Blue Archive Amano Ako by Dish. Right, from the artist Dish. I remember this figure very well. They have replicated her cringe face very nicely over here. Is that cringe or embarrassment? More like embarrassment, I think. Yeah, can't really tell. I think it is embarrassment, but very nicely done. And as you can see, her top outfit is like translucent material. I'm a bit concerned whether those material will turn yellow over time. So this is a common problem with most figures, regardless of whether it is genuine or third party, PVC or resin. Translucent, clear parts tend to turn yellow over time. Of course, if you don't expose your figures to sunlight and also UV light, which includes fluorescent light, then the likelihood of that happening is a bit lower, but sometimes it still happens. Yeah. This is Starexva Studio Original Ni Shanglu Han Dynasty Orchid. Okay, Starexva is licensed, so their figures in general turn out really well. Yeah. We don't get a very close-up look of the pictures over here, but I think it is quite obvious over here that, yeah, the face is nicely done, just that it does not look very detailed compared to the usual 1x4. I know maybe this is a 1x6 scale, not a 1x4. Okay, looking great. And the detail on the dress, yep, resin, man. Up next, we have another Sailor Moon figure by Sugar Honey Studio, and this is a closer look. Now, this is very faithfully replicated. This really reminds me of the 1990s Sailor Moon. Yeah, very nicely done over here. And this figure doesn't look expensive, at least. I wish that that drink she's holding in her hand, they make it with translucent material, clear material, and then you can see the level of the drink or some ice cubes inside. That would make it even better, but I suppose that doing it this way will keep the cost of a figure down. Yeah. Moving up next, we have TGZW Studio. They also make licensed stuff, and recently they have licensed this Street Fighter jewelry, which I covered like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It looks amazing, right? So this is an actual figure from them. I remember this one very well. It is like a concept art, and once again, great execution, man. The face, the hands that are grabbing on her, everything is done perfectly over here, as things should be for a licensed genuine figure brand. Yeah, concept art. I like it. Okay, moving up next, we have, alright, realistic face again, which I hate, but this is a great looking figure otherwise. Azulane Owari by Treasure Studio. This is the black version, and we have a silver version and silver white. And as you can see, the paintwork is excellent so far on outfits and everything. Yeah. Not many bad figures into this episode, seriously. This looks like a cosplayer, once again, a cosplayer cosplaying as Owari. Okay, up next we have Barney Studio, I think. Or is it, I think it's Barney Studio, I misspelled it. Okay, Kamisato Ayaka and Kokomi Sangonomiya from Genshin Impact. Okay, so this is like low detail figure. Okay, I remember this one. They counterfeited the same figure by SSR Studio, SSR figure and Infinity Studio. So I'm going to put this picture on screen right here, but instead you get Genshin characters. So indirectly, this is not counterfeiting. This is not just inspired by inspired by SSR figures, anime figures, but they copied the pose, they copied the couch, the sofa, but replaced it with a different character. So the detail level is a bit on the low side for sure, not very high detail. And Kamisato Ayaka, guess what? Get the scale figure by Apex Toys. I feel like I am always vouching for Apex Toys, but seriously, their Genshin, their Honkai figures are great. So yeah. Up next, Guan Zhawu Studio Bleach Yoruichi Shihorin. Okay, I remember this one, a bit bland, and they gave her a big black box base just to make the figure look and feel bigger than it actually is. I want to zoom in the face because I have only one single picture right here. I think there is some... Okay, I think it looks fine. Just that the mouth region looks a bit weird, a bit funny, but could be the lighting, right? The shadows making it look a bit weird. Like these lines over here, I'm not sure if that is actually her mouth or just shadow casted by a light source from this top right corner over here. The face is almost okay, yeah. And we have very nice shading over here, bright orange, darker orange. This is what I want to see in anime figures. Yeah, black color region over here could make do with some shading. Like they could have painted it in medium to dark gray, right? And then these regions over here, you make it almost black color, and then instantly the figure will look more detailed than it actually is. Okay, next figure over here, Hui Xiang Studio and Chao Studio Violet Evergarden. I think I have multiple pictures. Detail shot. The typewriter and her hands look amazing for sure. We don't get a close look of her face, right? And even if I zoom in, we only get to see the side view of this figure. Like, seriously, man, give us a closer look of these figures. Okay, I think it looks promising for sure. Image is a bit grainy after I zoomed in. Looks promising. In fact, I don't think I've seen a bad Violet Evergarden third-party figure yet. Yeah, none of them are bad. Alright, getting back here, the next figure, you guys saw it earlier, yep. This Bochi the Rock Hitori Goto figure by Yao MengMeng Studio. Like, I don't expect Hitori Goto to look this pretty, this hot. This is obviously a different style, different art style, a different interpretation of the same character, but it is nice. But Hitori Goto is not Hitori Goto without social anxiety. I would prefer if they give us a second faceplate of her with some kind of weird face on. One of the expressions we saw in the anime, like, this is clearly Hitori Goto going by the color of the hair and the not New Jersey, man, I said New Jersey, I can't believe myself. Azalin influence. The sports jersey she's wearing over here, definitely Hitori Goto, just that since when she gives people such a seductive look, right? It feels a little bit out of character, but by all means, it is not a bad figure. Next, another Boa Hancock. This is by YuXing Studio, and once again, the face looks great. This is a close-up look of the face, and the rest of the figure, oh, okay, her traditional outfit. So nothing too special over here, to be honest. Alright, it doesn't look expensive to me. This is probably under $200. Man, I can't believe I said under $200 is not expensive. Okay, and finally, ZH Studio. Their Anya figures are incredible. I mean, look at this, man. This is beautiful. This is Anya Forger cosplaying as Hatake Kakeshi from Naruto. Yes, and this white hair version with the iris of the eye, like, beautiful figure, man. This is amazing. There are so many companies that make Anya crossovers, but I personally regard ZH Studio to be the best one. Look at that, man. Whew. And they have a good photographer as well. This is a nice image for sure. Also by ZH Studio, Anya Forger cosplaying as Conan. Yeah, they photoshopped her eye, I think. Her eye is not supposed to glow like that unless they use glow in the dark paint, which I doubt. No, they photoshopped the image, but even without the glowing eyes, I think the sculpt, the paintwork, everything is amazing. You look at the gradient shading paintwork on the hair, right? Very nicely done. I love it, man. And this picture over here, yeah, this is without the photoshopping on the eyes. Still look amazing. I don't know why they photoshopped that image to make the eyes glow. And ZH Studio as well, Anya Saber. This Anya Saber is nice, just that I think the earlier Naruto cosplay ones are a lot better looking. Yeah, this is not bad by all means. And the detailing, man, on her armor is incredible. Come on, open a new window. Yep, okay. So, I just want to zoom in a little bit. Look at this texture over here on the cape. Real texture. Metallic paint looks like real metal. Precise paintwork on the gold color trims. Right, this is very nicely done from ZH Studio. This is really good. Yep, and I believe that is the last figure for today. Yes, it is. So that is all for episode 7 of which third-party resin figure brand is any good. Highlight of the week is probably HeRa Studio, because there were like 5 figures from them and all of them look great. But my personal favorite 3, the Asuka motorcycle, the Sukatsuki Ryo by Moonlit Studio is amazing. And lastly, the Iochi Mari figure earlier. Fabulous. What was the studio again? I can't remember. Like, those Chinese names are really difficult to remember. But anyways, I hope that this video is informative and helpful to those of you looking into buying or pre-ordering third parties. I know that this is only a very small number of companies that I have covered, but it really depends on which company releases pictures of their figures, right? No pictures, I can't say anything other than waiting for the users to post it themselves. So I hope that this video is helpful, and if it is, please do give this video a like, subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week, and until then, thanks for watching, goodbye.